Just to be close. Just to be close to you.
You say, what problem do God have with America? Number one is pride. You know how you see some of the bishops in the pulpit, they got their legs crossed and worship going on. Arrogant jokers. That's right, I said it. No, that's a bunch of arrogance, because you want them to see your bishop chain, right? Your big old staff with that big old hat on. I don't know what this thing is about bishops today. They got these big hats on and big staff and got all these garments on. I don't know if God could choose them to be a Moses. They'd be at the Red Sea, so much wind blowing their hat, come on, they trying to pick their hat up. That year when I was 17 years old, the following year I went off to college to Johnson & Wales University in Charleston, South Carolina, to be a chef. But see, I spent their money for almost 3 to 4 years of college when I said, well, Jesus just told me full-time ministry, and I can't do that no more. You know, in the college, they give you dormitories, but we didn't have the regular dormitories. We had apartments, big apartments. So we had space. So there was this closet, and I ran in that closet. I was crying because I had come out of the closet and said, God, I don't see nothing on me. The first year and a half, I struggled with fasting as a thin person, not as a fat person. I want y'all to know that. Y'all looking at my weight now, you saying, you know what, that ain't none of your business, okay? But I struggle with fasting. That devil would come to me. He said, you know you want those chips on that refrigerator. I found myself crying in the middle of the floor with chips, eating them all in my face. When I would do my fast, I'll get rid of all the food, all the chips. I would run to the store and go get them. And I'll always be in the middle of the floor with those chips. I'm telling you, for a year and a half, I could not complete a 3-day fast. I broke 3-day fasts constantly. Y'all looking at the mighty giant that's doing miracles. But at one time, I couldn't even do a 3-day fast. And this is when I had the dream about Russia attacking the United States by submarines. And I saw that the trade centers would be bombed before this would happen. And that Russia would pay off terrorists to bomb the trade centers. And I saw the dates when it would happen. That's why I was there on 9/10 and 9/11. I knew the dates, and I told different leaders in America for 10 years, the trade centers are going to be bombed. They laughed at me. I told them that the trade centers would be bombed. And on 9/10 and 9/11, I was there walking around the day before and the date 9/10 and 9/11, all the way to 9/11 in the morning, 7 o'clock. I was staying in New Haven, Connecticut, 2 hours outside of New York. And I had them take me 2 hours there just so I could prophesy to them. That's when I dreamed about 9/11 and 9/10. 9/11, 9/10, when I was up there. And you want to know what Americans told me? For 10 years, I want you to know this, for 10 years, before all of these thousands of people died in the trade centers, for 10 years, I tried to talk to America. Now, I was a young preacher. I was a fly-by-night when I was up there, and they did their research and found out that I was there on 9/10, 9/11. And I wasn't having a meeting up there. I was having a meeting in New Haven, Connecticut. But they verified that I was there. And that's when Sid Roth interviewed me, and everybody began to know me and listen to me. That's when I had governmental officials come to me and say to me, you know, we want to hear what you have to say. I said, Russia is planning a full-scale war against America. They're building the biggest submarine fleet in the world. Russia is planning a nuclear war against America. America will lose, and we will lose our freedom, and we will be under a communistic nation. The submarines I am not lying to you guys. I was asleep, and all of a sudden I was airlifted up high over America, and Jesus was already standing there. He airlifted me all the way up to where he was. He had on a white robe. I'm not lying to you. We stood in midair, and he didn't do nothing. He didn't say nothing. We saw Russian nuclear missiles just float right past us, in front of us. One of them hit Southern California. The other one hit Northern Florida. Millions will die. It won't just be thousands like at the Trade Centers. It's going to be millions. You all gonna die. How many remember Hiroshima, the atomic? They are just now recovering. I can't let that happen again. I saw people die at the Trade Centers before it happened. But I knew something bigger than that is coming. And I said, God, I failed you the first time. I didn't know how to get through to this country. I said, I love this country. I don't want to see war come here. I told God, I can't see it again. I can't see these people die again. I saw it before. On 9/11, I saw it. I said, we have to do something. I said, give me the winning blow. I said, I cannot come out of here till you tell me. Till you tell me. Till you tell me what's going to work. What will work? We must humble ourselves. My main call is to this nation. And the Lord said to me, he said, in this crusade, you must tell them the whole truth about face to face. Tell them what's really happening. I said, you appeared to me in a dream when I was a gangster shooting at people. I'll never forget when God sent an angel to me in 1986. The angel walked up to me. I'm fasting and praying in the church for about 2 weeks. This is in 1986. And he looks at me and said, God sent me to come to you and tell you that he's going to use you to shake America. And then he turned around and started walking away from me. And I'm an apostle that has been sent to the country. The Lord said, I want you to write a book. He came to me in a dream in 2008, said, I want you to write a book called Face to Face, How I Appear to You. I had a lot of pastors and leaders fight me on it. But they don't know that they are fighting the answer to save our country. There is ignorance. But I don't want them to be ignorant no more. And when I wrote the book Face to Face, Jesus started appearing to millions of people who read the book. Jesus is appearing to millions of people around the world through this face-to-face movement of JMMI. And then he said these words to me in the dream. He says, I have now given you what Moses had. And a lot of my enemies were saying, well, these visitations are not happening because of David. God ain't with no one man like that. That's a lie. I have a relationship with him. Number two, he's come to me personally and told me he's working with me like he worked with Moses. When I first started to tell pastors and bishops that God would come down like he did with Moses, you want to know what they said? We can't back your ministry no more. What kind of crap is that? And then they came back to me with tears in their eyes, repenting, saying, we are so sorry. We didn't know God wanted to do this. I don't care if God has talked to you every year. If he don't say nothing, just shut up. Y'all know I'm bold. I'm going to say it anyway. Like when God sent me to North Korea, when Jesus appeared to me, he said, I'm sending you back to South Korea. He says, I want you to break the king demon over North Korea, who's trying to start nuclear war with South Korea. He says those two nations will become one. He says, and after you break the king demon with the imperial anointing I've given you, he says, in 5 years, you will see the manifestation. Well, 5 years is here. Don't we see it? How many of those Koreans who are Christians in North Korea have been held in concentration camps? They're all being freed now. You can say anything you want about David Taylor. But if my assignment is to stop something this huge, I don't care what you don't like about me, you should get on board with me. You may not like me, you may not like what I wear, Well, I just don't like his fancy suits. I just don't believe a preacher should come on in there with all that gold stuff on and all them gold chains and his Captain Crunch suits. That's what my enemies call it, Captain Crunch. Darn idiots. Darn idiots. My enemies say I wear Captain Crunch shoes. Okay, I'll laugh with you. That's a good one. I'll laugh with you. Like I've told you before, I can die on pain of death if I'm lying. But I'm not lying. How do you go from shooting at people on the streets at 17 to dropping your gun and drugs after Jesus appears to you? The Food and Drug Administration, who's constantly killing people with their pills and their drugs. And then they have the nerve to kill all our scientists who are discovering cures because they want to keep a multi-billion-dollar operation. God is not going to leave the people in bondage. And now this same-sex marriage is no good. Being gay and being a homosexual is not popular. It's not popular. Quit making it a fad. It's nasty. And they want to take over our country with that homosexuality crap. Let me tell you something. The demon principality of homosexuality is coming down in America. Shout to the Lord like you're going crazy. Oh, brother, that's hate speech. We get a lot of homosexuals saved here. They get delivered here. Homosexuality is not normal. It is not natural. It's demonic. And now that spirit has come in the church. You got a lot of pastors that's gay, bishops that's gay, twitching and got so much sugar in their hips, sugar in their wrists. Every time they walk or move their hand, I'm like, a real man, when we see that, we're like, what? One eye big, one eye small. What's that? You know, because a real one, we don't even know how to move our hand like that. All that bending and twitching and stuff. You can tell them got that sugar in their tank because God didn't make no man to move like that. That's right, I said it. If you got sugar in your waist, something wrong with you. Huh? That's right, I said it. Some of these guys, they're so feminine, you know, they be talking. Get some darn bass in your voice. What's wrong with you? I know you didn't pop out of the womb talking like that. Now give God a shout of praise if you know the principality of homosexuality is coming down in this generation. Oh, they have the nerve to say in the church, I know it could be true for some people, they'll say stuff like, oh, you know, if you preach on something like that, you must be struggling with it. The devil is a lie. I don't struggle with that. I like what God made me to like. Hello? Better get out of here with that foolishness. No, I'm 100%, 200% real man. And I'm not a political person. Every year God will speak to me about the election. And the more I watched him, I'm like, you know, this couldn't be our president. But ever since he's got in office, the first bill he signed was for the preachers so that the world wouldn't come in and take our 501c3 status. It don't matter what you think about Trump, he's already president, and as a Christian, we're supposed to pray for him. Because the government, they want to come in and tax us on all the billions of dollars we get in revenue. The third thing is he signed a bill that same-sex marriage is no good. I told y'all homosexuality is coming down in America. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brother from sea to shine.
Just to be close to you. That's my desire.